Hello, on chapter 8, The Raven.
Chapter 8 The Raven 70 hours 45 minutes.
70 hours, 70 hour, 26
Recording
minutes.
70 hours 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
7:30 a.m.
7:30
That
a.m.
last video recording was the most pessimistic so far. It's strange, but the feeling of hopelessness doesn't last. As the sky grows brighter, I think of the raven. The bird is a sign of hope. Just thinking about it makes me want to do something.
That last video recording had the most present to the far and strongly but the faded a hope to let the dozen last and the sky ground breathing and thin on the raven. The bird sing hope just thinking about it they made the one to the something.
I try lifting the boulder once more. I make the rope even shorter, but when I step on it, nothing happens. I do everything I can to make it work. I push, jump, and shout as I put all my weight onto the rope. It's still no good. The boulder doesn't move a millimeter.
I try lifting the boulder and more I make the rope even shorter but when I step on the nothing happens. I do everything I can to make in the work. I push, jump and shoot as I put only my weight onto the rope and still no go the boulder doesn't move a millimeter.
I step down and lay my head on the boulder. I feel like crying, but I can't. There's not enough water in my body to produce any tears. But there's still the knife. It's lying open on top of the boulder.
I sit down and lie my head in the boulder. I feel like crying, but I can't. There's not enough water in my body to depress and tears, but there's still a knife and leaving open to the top of the boulder.
Suddenly, I know what I'm going to do. Quickly, I put the tourniquet around my arm and tighten it. Then I pick up the multi-tool, open the shorter knife, and push it hard into my arm. This time, the knife goes all the way in.
Suddenly, I know what I'm going to do. Quickly, I put the turning around my arm in the tinting it. Then I pick up the multi-tool, open the shutter knife, and push the hard into the arm. This time, the knife goes all the way in.
I pull out the knife and look at the deep hole I've made in my right arm.
I put out the knife and look on the deep hollow I've been made in the right arm.
I can't believe I've done this. It didn't
I can't believe I've done this.
even hurt, and there's very little blood.
I didn't even hurt and there's very light blood.
I can see the bones in my arm through the hole. I will never be able to cut through them with only a small knife.
I can see the bones in my arm through the hole and were never able to cut something with only a small knife.
Feel
I know.
I can't believe blood my arm through the hole. I will never be able to cut through them with only a small knife. It's time for a drink. I pick up the bottle and feel the last of the water disappear down my throat. I check the time. It's exactly 8 a.m. and all I have to drink now is urine.
It's time for drink. I pick up the bottle and feel the last of the water disperse down in its throat. I check the time. It's exactly 8 a.m. and all I have to drink now is a rain.
71 hours 45 minutes.
71 hours 45 minutes.
8:30 a.m.
13 a.m.
The raven appears. It's 15 minutes late, but I'm happy. I was beginning to think it wouldn't come. I feel happy and start thinking of all the wonderful times I've spent with friends and family. I remember a trip to Washington, D.C. with my sister, and another to Gettysburg with my dad. I also think of all the adventures I've had with different friends. The time passes quickly. Midday arrives without me realizing.
The raven appears in the 15 minutes late, but I am happy. I want beginning to the thing about their come and they feel happy and start thinking of and the bolder time on the I speak with friend and family. I remember the trip to Washington DC with my sister and another trip boat with my dad. I also think and the adventure and the had with different friends. At the time passed quickly made a ride with some my releasing.
I urinate into the camelback. Then I pour the clearer half of the urine into my water bottle. I throw the rest away. I have no idea how long anyone can survive on urine alone. At least drinking it wasn't as bad as I expected.
I ran into the comeback, then I poured the clean half of the urine into the water bottle. I drowned the rest away. I have no idea how long and how I can survive on urine alone unless drink and was as bad as I expected.
It is now the warmest part of the day. This is the time I am most comfortable. I have found the best way to sit and feel calmer in the warm air. Perhaps help will arrive in time. If so, I will soon be as free as the raven.
It's now the harming part of the day in the time and the most comfortable, and I have found the best way to sit and feel calmer in the warm air. Perfect help will arrive in time. If so, I will soon be as free as the raven.
3 hours later, I have reached the end of my third day trapped in the canyon. None of my plans of escape have worked. All I can do is stay strong for another night and hope for rescue.
3 hours later, I have reached the end of my first day traveling the canyon. Now, only my plan escape have a working. I can to stay strong for another thing night and hope for rescue.
I eat the last burrito. It is too dry to get down my throat, so I take a mouthful of urine. The urine tastes better at night because it's colder, but it's still going to be a long, hard night.
I ate the last burrito into the tree to head down my throat. It is to take thousand of rain. The rain tasted better at night because it's colder, but I still going to be long hard night. Sí.
On Wednesday morning, Brian After was at work in the shop. At 9:15, he called Leona to check if Aaron had arrived, but he hadn't. Brian had waited long enough.
Yo no quiero leer, ya me cansé, solo quiero jugar Call of Duty. Pero ya no. Pero si no lo hago, voy a perder como 20 puntos. Ayúdame, Diosito.
He picked up the phone. Aaron's mother answered on the first ring. Mrs. Ralston. Yes?
Of Wednesday morning, Brian after the was at work in the shop. In the 9:15 in college, Leona checked the hat arrived, but the hat Brian had a waiting log. And now he picked up the phone. Aaron's mother answered on the first ring. Mr. Rester? Yes.
This is Brian After, Aaron's boss at Ute Mountaineer. I'm afraid I'm rather worried about him. He hasn't returned from a trip he took last week. Do you know where he went? No one here has seen him since last Wednesday. Oh dear, said Aaron's mother. I have no idea where he is. I called him last week and left a message, but he didn't call back. Did he tell any of his housemates where he was going? No, just that he might hike somewhere in the Canyonlands area of Utah, explained Brian. I think you should call the Aspen police. Yes, I'll do that right now. I'll let you know what happens. Thank you, Brian. Mrs. Ralston's hand was shaking as she put down the phone. She suddenly had an idea. Perhaps Aaron had sent an email to one of his friends saying where he was going. She went to the computer. Aaron had an email address, but what was it? She found his name, but had to answer a secret question to read his emails. None of the answers she gave worked, but she kept trying. In the end, she guessed the correct answer and sent the information to Brian. After Brian had called the Aspen police, the head officer, Adam Kreider, started the rescue operation. He called Mrs. Ralston for the license plate number of her son's truck. Mrs. Ralston had written it down on a piece of paper. When she read it to Officer Kreider, she didn't realize it was wrong. Aaron had given it to her in a hurry and made a mistake.
Okay. There's a Brian after Aaron boss on the Utah mountain. I am friend on the road. Where do you know where we went? No one here was seeing him science last Wednesday. Oh dear Saint Aaron mother, I have no idea either he is. I called him last week and left a message. But he did. I called back. Did he tell Annie and the housemate there was going? No use that they may hike somewhere in the canyon area of Utah. Explained Brian. I think you should contact Aspen police. Yes, I did done right now. I let you know that happens. Thank you, Brian. Mr. Russell was shaking on the pot down in the phone. She suddenly has the idea. A person Aaron had sent an email to the one on the his friends saying there's he was going she wants the computer Aaron had the email address, but what was it? She found the name but had to ask her secret question and read his email. None of the answer they gave working, but they kept reading and the end on the wasn't the correct answer and sent the information to Brian. After Brian had client on the Alpha policy a hand officer added credit and started the rescue operation. He called Mr. Rawson from the license plate number of their son truck. Mr. Rawson had written in the now on a piece of paper. When she read it to the officer crying and did realize it was wrong, Aaron had given it to her a hurry and they made the mistake.
Officer Crider called back and told Mrs. Ralston there was no
Officer Cryer came back to the told Mr. Ralston there was no record of the license plate.
record of that license plate.
This left
This left her with another problem. How could she find the correct license plate number?
This left her with another problem. Now could she find correct license plate number?
Brian After was having better luck. He had found a list of email addresses for Aaron's climbing friends. Perhaps they knew where he was. He wanted to check immediately, but he had to leave for Australia later that day. He called Aaron's housemate Elliot and asked him to manage the store and rescue operation until he returned. Elliot agreed.
Brian After was having better luck. He had found a list of email addresses for Aaron claiming friends, paper on the keynote. There he was. He wanted to check immediately, but he had to leave for Australia that day. He called Aaron's husband Elliot and asked him to manage, no sé cómo se dice, the story and rescue operation until the returned. Elliot agreed.
When Elliot reached the store, he received a call from Mrs. Ralston. She wanted to check the license plate number she had given Brian. It was on his desk. Elliot checked as she read out the number. Wait, did you say 88?
When Elliot reached the store, he received on the call from Mr. Reston. He wanted to check the license plate number she had given Brian. It was his desk. Elliot checked at the read out the number.
6.
Wait, did you say 886, Mr. Ralston?
Ralston.
Yes.
Yes. Brian made a mistake. He wrote down 888. I'll call Officer Crider and give him the correct number.
Brian made the mistake. He wrote down 888 and the call officer Bridger and he gave him to the correct number.
By early afternoon, Elliot had received an email from Steve Pratchett, the most important of Aaron's climbing friends. Steve had climbed for many years. He often led rescue operations to find climbers lost in the mountains. Another friend, Jason, had sent Steve a list of all the canyons Aaron said he wanted to hike in Canyonlands. Steve called the Utah police for the area and spoke to one of the main officers, Kyle Ecker. Officer Ecker was very helpful. Steve gave him the latest license plate number for Aaron's truck, and Officer Ecker sent his men out to look for it.
Calling and they gave him the correct number. The early afternoon, Elliot had arisen on the email from Steve Pratchett, the most important of Aaron's climbing friends. Steve and climbing for the many years he often left rescue operations to help climbers lost in the mountains. Another friend, Jason, had seen Steve on the list of all the canyon Aaron said they wanted to hike in the Canyonlands. Steve calling in the Utah police for the areas and spoke on the one main officer is called Aker. Officer Aker was every help of all Steve give he the last license plate number for Aaron truck on the officer Aker said this his men out the lock for it.
They returned as night fell. There was no sign of the truck. Officer Ecker checked the number with the National License Office. There was no vehicle on record. Once again, The number was wrong.
The return is Nightfield. There was no sign to the truck officer. Aker checked the number with the National License Office. There was no vehicle on record. Once again, the number was wrong.
The bad news reached Aaron's mother. Then she remembered that Aaron was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico when he bought the truck.
The bad news reached Aaron's mother. Then she remembered that Aaron was living in the Albuquerque, New Mexico, when we down the truck.
The vehicle license office for the area was in Santa Fe.
With the vehicle license officer, Dios santo, cuánto falta. Dios santo. Officer from the area was the same Santa Fe. ¿Cómo dice Santa Fe en inglés? Santa Fe, exacto. She came and the officer searched the record and they found our name. The record showed the license plate number and NM846MM. No sé cómo se dice.
The record 846 MMY.
MMY. Y, hombre. ¿Qué fue lo que fue?
Finally, they had the correct number. The information was given to Officer Ecker. It was too late to continue searching that night. It would have to wait until the morning.
Finally, they had the correct number. The information what they had, the officer Iker, it was too late to continue racing. The night is over. Had to wait until the morning. Which for us, Aaron, Mr. Racing, since she went to the bed, were coming.
Wait for us, Aaron, Mrs. Rawston said as she went to bed. We're coming. 89 hours, 15 minutes.
81 hours, 15 minutes.
2 a.m. The darkness seems unreal.
2 a.m. The darkness seems unreal.
In fact, I don't know what is real and what isn't anymore. I start to have visions. Friends suddenly appear in the canyon like silent ghosts and wave me towards them. I follow and find myself in some place I know from the past. They smile at me in a kind way, but they never speak. Because of their kindness, I am not afraid. I know they are protecting me. I am happy while the visions last. To me, they are real. It is only when they disappear and the cold and pain return that I know they are not. Then, shaking hard, I continue chipping at the boulder. After that, I sit again, and it's not long before the visions return. During the second half of the night, I have visions of myself as a child. Sometimes I'm playing cards with my grandfather.
Yo creo que ya me perdí. Sí, ya que para ratos. And the darkness is rare. In fact, I don't know what is real and what is the anymore. I start the whole vision friends. Suddenly after the canyon light selling ghosts and they have me towards being a fallen find myself in some place I know from the past. The smile on the I'm keen white on the would never speak because in their kindness I not faint in know they are protection and I am happy with the vision that's to me they are real. It's only this person, the cold and the pain that return and the canal are not the shaking heart and continue shipping on the boulder. After that I see that again in the not long before the vision return during the second half of the night. I have visioned myself and the child something I am playing card with my grandfather. Other time I read running across the green field with my friends.
Other times, I am running across bright green fields with my friends. Something about the visions tells me that I have not given the people I care about enough attention. I'm always thinking of the things I want to achieve and not noticing other people. Now I realize that my love for friends and family is the main reason I want to escape. The thought of seeing them again is keeping me alive. I promise myself that if I can escape from here back to the people, I will be kinder towards them.
Something about the vision tells my dad that I have not given people I can about I know attention I always thinking I might think I want to achieve and the not nothings other people. Not that the reals and the my love and the friends and the family and the main reason I want to escape. The thought of resign then again it equip my alive promise myself that I can escape from the hair back to people I be que and my career towards them. Estoy muriendo de miedo, man. Ya muy oscuros.
The visions always include some kind of drink. It is usually something cold and sweet, like apple juice or iced tea. Just as I'm about to drink, the vision disappears, and I wake up. Then I feel the cold and the pain of the rope against my legs. I stand up and begin my routine all over again.
The vision always including the something of drink of it is usually something called a sweet like apple juice or I see you I am about to drink the vision disperse and I wake up then I feel the cold and the pain to rub against my legs. I stand up and begin to returning all over again. Dios, ya termina
However,
esto.
the visions tell me something. I am not ready to die. As morning comes on the 5th day, I feel sure I can still last a few more days. I don't know if this is true, but I'm still alive when the sun rises. The raven appears on time. The sound of its wings and the light in the canyon are beautiful. I watch its smooth flight, following the line of the canyon. I take out my camera and film as it disappears from view.
I hover the vision then something I am not ready to die. The morning comes in the 50 day. I feel sure I can still last a few more days. I not know it's true, but I still alive. Where it sure arrives arriving a person the time to saw on the street and lead on the canyon are beautiful. I watch it snow flying, following in the lights of the canyon, and they take out my camera and feel in the its dispersion from the wave. Gracias. Thank you. I am finished. Capitulo chapter 8 and next chapter 9. It's this truck. Thank you. Goodbye.